Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, and I decided to come at everyone live tonight unannounced. So I won't really get into a whole lot of details other than the current market right now. We'll go over CKB Voyager token, but mainly back on August 26th, I went on the air and said, by doing a bunch of math, that Bitcoin has a potential to hit 23,000 on or around September 27th. And this was back on August 26th. I was saying that, and people were thinking that I was absolutely nuts. And I might be, but that is kind of interesting how things are starting to shake out. And I just want to, again, draw some comparisons as to what could be going on with the market. We're seeing a very sharp break in price action, very similarly to what we saw back in May. Currently, we are seeing a most definite death cross on the daily chart for sure. That will happen for sure. I can almost guarantee that. But what we can do is study the last time Bitcoin ripped downwards. And what I want to go ahead and do is just measure from the first full body downward candle down to this wick here. And we'll go ahead and do that on the daily chart. And we can see that this was about 6 days it took for Bitcoin to retrace 45%. So let's look at where we are at right now and the possibility that this August 26th prediction comes true. I think if it does, this will be one of my greatest predictions of all time. Well, let's go ahead and measure this from the first full body candle, which is right here. We'll go 6 days. Well, we'll just go 7 days out because September 27th was the date that I calculated. So, we can see 46% puts us somewhere in the neighborhood of $25,000 Bitcoin. So this is very, much a possibility for us to stoop this low from this point that we are at right now. We saw Bitcoin do it under very similar circumstances the last time around. Now, I do see the chat is blowing up. Let's see here. All right, I'm just looking through the the chat section. What's up, guys? So we'll get back to this quick. So this is going to be an interesting shakeup, but let's go ahead and get rid of all this. I want to get rid of all of this. And let's check this out real quick at a super high level. I know everybody, it's late, but the retracement side of things, if we really look hard at this, I just want to make sure this is lined up. We can definitely see where we are hanging up on this 38.2 on the daily chart, 50%. It wouldn't surprise me to see us land around this 50% level. And interestingly enough, the 61.8 is right around that 25,000 level. So, it's definitely going to get dicey. And if we go all the way down to 78.6, we're looking at a $16,000 Bitcoin. But I don't want to start talking all of that yet. We do have some good support levels down around this $29,000, $30,000 level. I think that'll be an important psychological level for people. But I'm just saying that with this price action here, it just doesn't look the best. So keep your eye on the markets. And one thing, we'll look at Bitcoin right now, and we can kind of see some sort of ascending triangle or symmetrical triangle kind of forming right now. Is this going to be a bull trap? Are we going to see price action come up and kiss this 50 moving average and come down? Nobody knows, but by tomorrow morning, there's a good chance we will. This was a very rapid retracement, 15% in about a day. So that really isn't the end of the world, especially in the crypto market. But to see a sharp sell-off like that is definitely worrisome. And let's just take a peek at this on a super high level. So let's go through this. Okay. I want to measure Bitcoin here. I'm just going to throw that right here. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to give you the most accurate and highest quality TA starting from scratch. Oh, man. And we can see where we were riding nicely in this channel. That ending diagonal got us. You guys know that story. Corrective wave is hitting us. I mean, if we see Bitcoin continue to fall, 41,000, this 37.8 will be an important line somewhere in there. If we go lower than that, I fear, and if we break this channel, I fear that the market will really be at some sort of a tipping point from there. But this is going to get interesting, to say the least. Let's see where Bitcoin actually goes. Let's take a peek quickly. Let's just kind of run through a few of these since we're live, right? Let's look at ETH. This is a little chart I was drawing up on ETH with the potential of a falling wedge pattern. It looks like, I don't remember when I made this, so it was probably within the last week or so, but we can see that this might have produced a nice little falling wedge pattern if it hadn't been dragged down by Bitcoin. We can see, though, we haven't closed below this trend line here, which is good. So if the market does turn around, ETH might be just in this downward falling wedge, which would be cool to see. I'm going to look through the comments section here. We've got, let's see, looks like Chris King. If we blow the 50 moving average, all bets are off. Who knew? What's the deal? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's see, Nomadic. I've been holding my savings the past couple of weeks just watching Bitcoin and CKB. I think you're right that CKB is going to hit about a cent. I'm going to pull it all in, put it all in then. Okay. Not a bad strategy. I do think you'll have a good chance of making some money. If we don't recover, definitely we saw how easy it was for CKB to just run up to 4 cents at the beginning of the bull run. So you definitely would probably be sitting good. Let's take a peek at ADA Cardano, because I know a lot of people are holding that. $1.83. If you see it trading below $1.75, we have broken this trend, and we may fall. My worried would be down to $1. Maybe $1.50 would be the next Psyche price level. Dogecoin, I mean, you gotta love it and hate it at the same time, right? So I'm going to be mining Dogecoin, and that's no big secret. I've talked about it. I'm going to be mining Litecoin as well. The only reason I'm mining Dogecoin is because my Litecoin miner will mine Dogecoin at the same time simultaneously. So why not stack it and sell it? Probably stick it into CKB or Voyager token. CKB, folks. CKB is, on this nasty little correction right now. Definitely looking at this 78.6 level, 0.011. I would say the penny level. You might be able to catch a wick down to the penny level somewhere in there. If we do go lower than that, CKB will be in some trouble, because at that point in time, we will have broken this upward trend that we have been in since November of 2020. So with that said, I'm hoping the market kind of turns around, and I'm hoping we kind of get this ascending triangle like we were discussing in last night's live stream with Crypto Airborne. Crypto Airborne, he's definitely a very, well balanced a person to be around when it comes to the market. He reads a lot of news, stuff like that. So big shout out to him. See, we got any wager token peeps in the comments section right now? Let me know. Strika, I hear you, brother. Any day now. Oh man. VGX, right back where we were at last week. So this sucks to see VGX in this position. Once again, we have terrible charts for VGX after that token swap happened. One of the most probably best comments right now. I bought some Chick-fil-A sauce during this dip. Evergrande news definitely played a role here. I agree. It's definitely a catalyst, and it's kind of one of those things where, back in, what was it, April, May, when we had that last dump off 65, everybody kind of blamed Elon Musk at the end. So I don't know if Evergrande is a scapegoat or if it is a true proponent in this dip. But you're definitely right. That news is a catalyst, and you definitely need to buy some more Chick-fil-A sauce, Rob KC. I don't know if you saw in the community section last week, I was wearing my Nervous Network t-shirt to the grocery store, going to pick up some more Chick-fil-A sauce because I was down to a single bottle. And lo and behold, they're out again. I can't believe it. And it's, it sucks. Let's look at Litecoin, because I'm going to be mining and holding Litecoin for the next bull run. If you're into Litecoin, it looks like we might be seeing this head on down to 115. That's not good. That's kind of, well, let's do a double take on this, because I haven't looked at this in a while. So I want to get my charts accurate if I'm going to be talking about Litecoin. Let's see here. Yeah, so 118, 120, somewhere in there. And I did not know this. Joel says you can buy it from the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Well, FML, what am I doing going to these grocery stores? Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much, Joel. I'm going to go up to Chick-fil-A for lunch tomorrow. VeChain. Let's see. Nomadic. Do you hold Veet? I do not. I did. It's definitely a good coin. I'm actually in love with the tokenomics with VeChain. But I had ended up selling off VeChain, probably somewhere on this run up, and just never got back into it. I don't know why, but let's look at VeChain really quick since you're holding. Farron 451. I love that name. And I remember, you're in the, I think you were emailing me. You're in the Patreon as well. So thank you. And I love that name, and I love that Fahrenheit 451 book. Definitely a classic. So for all the VeChain holders, what do we got going on here? Let's take a peek on the 1 hour chart. Symmetrical triangle formed off this bear leg. I don't know, it kind of looks like this thing is tugging to the downside. But this is a tough play. I mean, I would love to see VeChain at least come back up and retest this 61.8 10-cent level, just to get confirmation to pass back over it or reject downwards. Not that I want it to reject downwards, but you're looking at the 78.6 as the next, maybe 7.5, 7-8 cents might be a next psychological point. But 6 cents, I mean, you might even see a wick down to 5 cents. Oh, man. And this is this is painful to kind of look through these charts right now, but somebody's got to do it. Let's see, Nomadic, I got in about 19 Canadian, so it's sad to see the ATM. Just hold in there, brother. I hear you. A lot of people right now feeling your pain, so you're not alone in that. Okay, I do appreciate the kind words. Who knew? I do appreciate that. I do try to, keep my TA objective. And what really is interesting is when I'm stock options trading or playing the stocks, it's not so much that my mental, train of thought is that way. So at least with crypto, I think just the volatility has just made me appreciate the bulls and the bears that much more when I do TA. I don't know why I accidentally hid Fahrenheit 450's one's comment there. I think I got it back. But any other TA that you guys want to request, just let me know in the comments section below. Again, for all the people that are just showing up, I'll just kind of go over Bitcoin right now. We are seeing Bitcoin do somewhat of a little tiny recovery right now, but this could be a bull trap. My guess is that this thing will come up here on the 15-minute chart, meet this 50, meet this cloud, and at that point in time, there might be a rejection back down to the downside. So I don't really see it passing through this cloud too much. Let's look at the weekly chart here. Let's see here. In Nomadic, you may want to get into mining as well. Not financial or trading advice, but one thing I got going right now is I got a bag of CKB at about a penny and a half, but I'm also got my CKB miners going, so I'm constantly dollar cost averaging every single day, as a matter of fact. So that's kind of cool. We got Ocean and BTT. I got you right after Bitcoin here. But a weekly chart, folks, we are seeing this candle get bigger. Earlier today, it was like a little sliver. So we did come down on the weekly chart and almost hit this 50 moving average. Whether or not we will see that within the next week is beyond me. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there is a chance for us to hit 23,000 by the 27th of September. So in 7 days, it did it once before and it could do it again. I mean, here's 1 week of data right here. Let's just go ahead and remeasure this. And see, I'm just trying to get these lines perfect. 45% retracement. So let's just go and say that for some reason, we've got the spinning top doji star. Let's just say for some reason we get a 45% retracement from here. And that brings us down to, it's crazy how, right about this 5,900 level, which is right by the 61.8 level. So that's kind of scary. But let's see here. We got Ocean, BTT, we've got Ajax. So let's check that out here. Let's check out Ocean first. Let's see here, bear with me. Look at the US dollar. And unfortunately, I got a feeling that a lot of these coins are going to be suffering heavily with the retracement of Bitcoin. So Ocean, you may be looking, interestingly enough, we have almost double tapped, triple tapped the 61.8 with Ocean on the hourly chart. RSI is still in the tank. Stochastics could move downwards. But, with that said, we can see a very textbook retracement. We had the symmetrical triangle forming right off the 50. And man, I would have seen that. I would have known for sure we were heading down further. But we came down, checked the 61.8, checked it again. Bulls and bears are fighting. That's why we're seeing wicks on both sides of this candle. And we're sitting at 62, 64 cents. Where are we heading next? Well, if the market reverses, 71 cents would be the next safest place. If we continue downwards, 49 cents. Excuse me 1 minute. I have to mute the mic. Sorry about that, folks. I had a cough and I need to go get a drink of water, but I will be right back in about 2 seconds. So hang in there. Okay, folks, so I do apologize for keeping you waiting right there. I was parched. Like I said, with Ocean, 49 cents if shit hits the fan. But the one thing we could be seeing here is a corrective wave in the works. So let's see what else we got. BTT. I'm going to do this one for you, Sunshine, and I'm also going to do this for Packable, who might watch this video later. That's his baby. BTT. Yeah, I remember when we pulled this up on the charts the other night. And we can see that this is really flirting now with this trend line here. Oh, man. I think that for now, if BTT, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that value, but if you see it below 7, start hitting around like, mid 6.5s, high 7s, like, man, you might be seeing the ecosystem change in BTT, and this thing may be on its way, to lower levels, possibly around the 6 level, somewhere in there. But let's just look at a quick retracement schedule on this. So you can kind of see just what I was thinking. This 7 level is the most likely place you would see a pivot point, maybe a wick down to this 7 level wouldn't be so bad. But this 6 level, 5 level, I mean, those are not good levels to start seeing with BTT. I'm not liking this chart at all. But on a grander scale, if BTT reverses, I mean, you could kind of make the argument here that there is some sort of possibility for a falling wedge, but not really. It's kind of hard to, I mean, you could go both ways. You might be able to argue that this thing could pop up, but let's move on. H bar is next. So we've got, let's just go H bar against the US dollar. And when we were looking at this the other night, we were kind of speculating how it would be cool to see this Fibonacci sliver of an ascending triangle. And we can see that this thing really was kind of starting to obey this channel line here, but ultimately we broke this Fibonacci channel. And let's just look at this at a super high level. Get rid of that since it's not relevant anymore. We came straight through the 50 moving average, and now we have hit the 200. And just like some of these other coins, we have now double tapped this. And we really have a textbook symmetrical triangle that formed on a 4-hour chart. And we're starting to see these candles pressing on this 200. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw H bar kind of head down to the 25-cent level. If it goes lower than that, you might be in bigger trouble. So let's just look at a quick retracement level here. And so you can see we are hung up at the 61.8 as well. So right around this 31, 32 cent level, 24.5 cents. That's kind of the next potential turnaround if we blow through this 61.8. But this kind of formed a symmetrical triangle right on this 50% retracement level. So, I mean, it is what it is. My concern is with a lot of these coins, if we break, from this trend line at this point to this point, if we fall below this lowest trend line, then we know things are getting real. We might be seeing the market head down further. Let's see here. Stellar lumens. So let's go ahead and look at that. XLM. So we got stellar lumens. This is what I like. Okay, so we must have reviewed this one the last time too. I don't recall, but it might have been you, Farron 451, that was requesting that. Somebody else. Anyways, it doesn't matter. 61.8. We've got 32 cents. We are clinging to this very nicely. And for the most part, with that little market surge at the beginning of the month, bounced downward off the 50. We were kind of hanging out on the 61.8, but ultimately with Bitcoin shaking things up, we are getting worked right now. And I mean, I guess one could argue bear flag might be in order right here. So let's look at the daily on XL. Let's look at a 12-hour on XLM. I mean, we've seen RSI go lower, so it wouldn't surprise me to see this stoop down a little bit more. I think we are sitting at a very nice level right now, but you can see that this acted as a support level and a resistance level previously. So with that said, I think there's a good chance to see 19 cents at the lowest. I think 20 cents would be more like it. That would be a psychological resistance point. 25 cent would be a good psychological hang up point as well. So just watch for those. And if you see Stellar creeping up around that 32, 35 cent level, you'll know that you are kind of back up above this 61.8. Actually, this would be the 38.2 on an extension schedule. So Strike wants AGIX. Okay, here we go. Man, on a 12-hour chart, let me know, Strike, where you can get AGIX, if you know. So we have on a 12-hour chart. Well, let's see what this looks like on the daily. Okay, so on the daily chart, this isn't the best. We are poking into the Ichimoku cloud. Once we get sucked into this cloud on a daily chart, it's very hard to climb back out of it. It's kind of like a big trap. But on a 12-hour chart, we are looking at some, support and resistance along this 200 moving average. So with that said, let's just check this thing out. I'm not familiar with AGIX. Okay, so in Australia, I use an exchange called SWYFTX. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. And so if this 200 fails, 22 cents, 23 cents may be the next level that you would fall to. But the way it seems, if you're looking at this, the 61.8, 32 cent level is going to be an important level to get above. So that's kind of where we're sitting at with AGIX. And I'm kind of seeing an opportunity for a little fib channel on this. I'm going to get rid of some of this other stuff here. Oh, man. It's crazy to see how, we come up, bounce off this channel. Same with right in here. I mean, I would say that if AGIX falls below 19, 20 cents at this point, that's going to be a very bad thing. But you probably find some support somewhere down in this 25 cent range, 20 cent range. But it'll be interesting to see how far this thing comes down through this Fibonacci channel. We will have to check that out. Rob KC says, OMG. OMG. Chart looks good as well. Let's check that out. Oh my God. I thought you were BSing me there. But yeah, this actually does look good. My goodness. Okay, so what we have going on right now with OMG is an ascending triangle. And we can see this very evidently. I mean, what we can see is these, these highs and lows, these lows particularly getting lower and lower. And it looks like this did suffer this dip, but this was a fairly large ascending triangle. So it really held well against this latest bearish stuff going on with Bitcoin, which is very unusual to see. So what do we got next for OMG? Let's take a peek at this on the daily. Okay, I mean, I'm liking this. We are getting some resistance around 11.5 cents, it looks like. So let's just pull up an extension on this. Okay, so you're fighting right now with the 61.8. And if, well, it looks like as of right now, you have cleared the 61.8 level. So this is awesome news. We just need price action to hold above the 61.8. I think there's a solid chance that if this doesn't get taken down by Bitcoin, you may see OMG hit 12 cents. Is this $12.70? I'm sorry. I've probably been mispronouncing these dollar amounts. But 100%, $15.37. I mean, this is a nice ascending triangle to play off of. The fact that it kind of shook this bearish momentum on Bitcoin is quite surprising, to be honest with you. Let's look at this thing on a 4-hour chart. So 4-hour chart, it's a different story. We are, I mean, this little, it's just picture here, the bears and the bulls, each pulling on a string of tug of war. We got the cash prize in the middle, but we are stuck right under the 61.8. If the bulls cannot get up over this $10.77 level and stay there for an extended period of time, you may fall back down to around $9. So I'm excited about OMG. I hope that if you're holding, Rob, that you get some good profits off this one. Watch out for this $15 level. And also this $12.75 level or 70-cent level, somewhere in there might be a point in time where other traders reverse or start selling off their positions. Let's see here. We got 15 people in the chat. If you guys could give me a thumbs up, that would be huge. And if we have no other TA, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. This wasn't really supposed to be anything other than Bitcoin and market TA. But here we are. I'm taking one for the team. I know everybody wants to know where their coin is at right now. So, with that said, we'll just kind of end this up on Bitcoin. We do have this nasty corrective wave that is really doing work. So we might be seeing Elliott wave kind of move to the downside like this. Nobody knows, but one thing's for sure. If we wake up and see Bitcoin below 37.6 by tomorrow morning Central Time, man, we might be in for a hurt. I'm seeing one more. Mark Slim. What's Slim? I've never heard of this one. Slim, the Salah. What is this? The obesity index. What's the ticker stand for? If you're still in the video, Mark, are you telling me I need to get Slim, the selective obesity index? I've never heard of this. Man, is this a crypto or what? I have a feeling that this is a stock. So, not going to cover this one until we get some clarification in the comments here. But yeah, on the daily, folks, we do have some nasty things going on. With this hustle downwards, we can see that that on the daily chart, this is really trying to pull this 50 moving average down to complete the death cross. For example, let's see what happened back in 2020. We had the bulls start pumping. This was pure manipulation, in my opinion, but they manipulated it enough just to bring this 50 up, and then they struck it with the death cross, and then coronavirus hit. So I'm hoping that's not what we're seeing right now, but it's looking pretty damn similar. Let's see if GBEX is on the charts. I'm sorry, we don't have GBEX token on TradingView, so I can't do that one, unfortunately. Well, I think that'll wrap up this impromptu live stream. And then we get hit with another one. So we'll do Rose for Love Yourself. Okay, I got you. Look at this one quick. Rose. Let's just check this out. Okay. Oh, man, this is some crazy price action. We'll look at this on the daily. This will be the last one as well. So Rose is fighting with the 61.8 on a retracement side of things. Now, this one could have, man, this is, I'm telling you guys, when you think of a classic bull trap, it doesn't get much better than this. If you'd have asked me a couple days ago where this is going, I would have told you this is going straight up. We had a nice bull flagpole with a pennant, which is very nice and welcoming to see. And we can see that the pump actually did start to happen, and this thing pumped all the way up to 29 cents. Well, unfortunately, it kind of looks like maybe Bitcoin or something might have stopped this thing from reaching some new all-time highs. I mean, we're in price discovery mode, and right off, we weren't. So the price, it was just in price discovery mode at the beginning of the month. So, oh man, these poor people, they waited, they got the pump. I do think we might have even seen some Elliott wave theory to the upside with this had Bitcoin not wrecked this. So just out of curiosity, I want to see some extensions on this. Okay, so this came right up to the 161.8, which is a very a very powerful Fibonacci extension and retracement line. So with that said, it's not surprising to see such rapid and violent price explosion turnaround at the 161.8. If I would have had to guess, I would have said the 177 that it would have turned around. But I do think that this thing was aiming for the 47-cent level had Bitcoin not shat on everyone. So with that said, I do appreciate all the comments and stuff like that. You guys are too kind. Omer Ahmed, I hope, says, at what prices should I buy back in CKB at your honest opinion? Well, I'm mining CKB. My position is a little bit different than everyone else's. So right now, I still am buying a very little amount on the dips, just knowing that because I'm mining about 500 coins a day, that whatever price the CKB is trading at, I'm essentially mining more coins at those levels. So I'm really kind of seeing my overall cost really average out. But let's just look at CKB. The charts, we really haven't spent a whole lot of time on that other than earlier. With CKB, it's very hard. We have very limited data historically. Let's go ahead and clear this. We can kind of see a few different trend lines. I know there's a lot of CKB people in here. It depends on the length of time that you want to hold your coin or CKB as well. There will probably be, a good buying opportunity for CKB somewhere around the 0.008 cents. Now, this is all very contingent with Bitcoin. So we have to keep in mind that, earlier in 2020, we saw CKB retrace about 73% from a very nice high. And if we go ahead and look at what 73% looks like from this point of view, I mean, it's still a little high in my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at this once. From this high to this low. I mean, we can see CKB does have a history. We're looking at it right now of retracing up to 87%. So I want to go ahead and look at this, see where 87% is. And like I've mentioned before, this is kind of the sweet spot number, in my opinion, for CKB. If we go into a super harsh bear market, depending on what your strategy is, I'm very long on CKB nomadic hold till 2025. Like, I like that. I'm going to be mining until my miners break down. I've been sleeping in the same room with my miners for the last week, and I finally moved them into the server office at my into the server room at my office. So with that said, I mean, this half a cent level, I mean, would be a killer bargain, but 0.005, I mean, you might just want to put out some crazy low buy orders over the next course of a few months. If Bitcoin, this is all contingent on if Bitcoin really crashes things again. And we can see how CKB was ruined by Bitcoin before, and we can see how Bitcoin is starting to ruin CKB again. Long, full body, red bearish candles. So it's unfortunate because we had worked so hard to climb above this cloud. Things were looking good. We were almost going to get this golden cross on the daily. Like, I was getting pumped for CKB. We were kind of forming out a little ascending triangle, and now we are not. So currently we're trading at 0.0132 cents, somewhere in that neighborhood, depending on what exchange you are on. Penny level for CKB 0.0087-ish would be the next low that I may consider getting a bag at. If we hold this, we may be seeing some sort of mega descending triangle. If we can hold this 0.008 penny level, and this would be huge to see going into next year. Next spring, there might be a good chance for a breakout to occur. Either way. Do you have a video on how to mine CKB? I do. And bear with me 1 second. I'm just pulling this up. Last weekend, I released a video. Bear with me 1 second. Just going to pull this onto the screen. Hopefully you guys can see this. I released this video a week ago. Damn. Okay. So a week ago, I released a video how to set up a Gold Shell CK box miner. You can buy them from a company called Gold Shell. I can't really speak to their their quality control or anything like that. I think they're kind of a newer company. So with that said, I'll try to kind of show you a enlarged picture of my setup. And here it is. So this is kind of what my mining rig looks like. Definitely have another CK box on the way from Gold Shell. I just hope these things last more than a year or two. They seem solid. They're not, haven't given me any problems at all. So I'm pretty thankful for that. I think as long as you are mindful of the relative humidity or the humidity that you are, subjecting these miners to and all this equipment to, the temperature. Right now I have these in a very controlled, environment. Humidity's at 47%, temperature's at 71 degrees. So, it's a good little environment for these miners to work in. And I'll show you guys if you're interested in checking this out. This is my CKB wallet. So I started mining CKB about a week ago, and this is some of the profits you're seeing that I've gotten actually on 9/12. So we didn't get these things up to Steam till 9/13. So about a week ago exactly. You can see a little dip here. I had a problem with my Wi-Fi power line glitched out, and so my miners were offline for hours. And so we can see that, let's look at the daily profits. So that happened on the 18th, so 2 days ago. You can see this happening. So I got kind of screwed there. And then I had a little bit of a drawdown on my profits today because, like I said, I moved these profits or my miners from the office to a controlled environment in a server room. So we can kind of look at my real-time hash rate. So these things are underperforming in real time right now. It's not uncommon to see these hash rates at 231, 225, somewhere in there. So at those point in times, these little miners are overclocking, which is pretty cool. So within the last hour, the average is 2.17 terahash, which is overclocking because the CK box advertised that you can do about 2.05 terahash, I believe. So that's kind of cool when that does happen. I'll show you guys some other cool stuff. Bear with me 1 second. And so this is a live view of my miners. right now. So we can see that right now, getting 1070 gigahash, uh, pretty decent reject rate. Fans are spinning, so these things are overclocking right now. So they're gonna definitely uh, be working harder than normal. Temperatures look good. Let's look at this other one. Same story. Fans are up higher. Sometimes when the network's slow and they're not working so hard, you see these right around like 1900. But I can always tell when the network is busy just by looking at this real-time hash rate. And let's just refresh this. Yeah, it's still kind of hovering right in there. So yeah, that's kind of, I do have that video on how to mine CKB using the gold shell CK boxes. Like I said, I've got a third one coming, and I've got a Dogecoin Litecoin one coming as well. So whether or not they hold up to the test of time, I guess only time will tell. Like I said, they seem like a decent company. I have heard of people getting hot outlets. And I do think that it's probably due to their power supply. If you're going to go the gold shell route, definitely want to invest in a decent power supply that's overkill. And this power supply here is an EVGA Supernova 80 gold 1000 watts PSU. So these things are rated for like 215 watts. So collectively, I'm pushing 430 watts on a 1000 watt PSU. So I would probably go ahead and add one more to this comfortably. I do have another PSU coming from Gold Shell that I will probably just attach my other two miners to. Name of the game is to keep your electronics cool, and they will run more efficiently. And I'm not trying to overload this one, even though I know I could. Other things we have to consider is infrastructure within the home, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, this video was cool. Got a lot of likes and interest in this. These little boxes, they generate about $2.75-80 a day, somewhere in there. So your return on investment is an extended period of time, up to about a year. Obviously, if you can mine CKB at super low prices, and then we see the price action, 1, 2, 3, 4x, well, then you just pay off your miners that much quickly. So it's always a good thing just to kind of mine, in my own opinion, at lower levels, even though it might not be as profitable. It definitely pays out when the run-ups and the pumps happen. So thanks for asking about the video on how to mine CKB. Right now, as far as I know, you need to either build a custom mining rig that has the Eagle Song algo, or you need to buy equipment that has it. So there's some other stuff out there. So with that said, I think I'm going to wrap this up. This was really going to be like a 15-minute video. One last look at Bitcoin before we sign off. And if you haven't already, and you can show me some love by hitting that like button, I would truly appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of one of these things. We see these little retracements, and then we see a pump, then we see a retracement, and then we see a pump, and we might be working our way right down to this $38,000 Bitcoin. But I would love, for the sake of everybody in the crypto space, to see Bitcoin completely reverse, and it'd be a wonderful thing if this was just a shakeout. But here we are, 12-hour chart, really pressing this 200. So 40,000 people are buying the dip, but are they right? Nobody knows. But I think we will go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks everyone for being with me tonight. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys for stopping by. We looks like we got about 22 people on the feed, so that's awesome. And if you guys want, I can do more of these live streams on a regular basis if we're getting these kind of numbers. But the other thing is too, whenever I see price action moving violently like this, I always try to come online and just kind of share my thoughts on what is going on and where we might be going, because there's nothing worse than holding an asset and not having a clear idea of where we might be headed. Anybody can do TA. But some are more experienced than others and whatnot. And I'm not saying I'm the best out there, but I have a good enough idea to be dangerous. So with that said, I'm rambling now and I'm going to peace out. So we'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. I will update as soon as I can. So have a great night, everyone. Just kidding. Let's do one more. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm just kidding. We'll see you guys tomorrow.